All right, welcome yogis. I'm back. Namaste. Okay, season 5, integration and sustainability. So, integration is taking everything, bringing it all together, and letting it soak in. That's what integration is. So, think of like Shavasana, right? So, you go through your whole practice and then you lay down in your Shavasana. That's allowing your body, your mind, your emotions, and everything to integrate what just happened. So, not always just the purpose of the pose, but that is one of the purposes of that pose. And so that's basically integration. And so it's taking everything that you've learned up until now and being able to apply it and integrate it fully. When it's integrated, it stays versus just applied. Okay, so that's the difference there. And then with sustainability, that goes along with integration, because once it's integrated, it's easy to sustain, right? So you hear a lot, I'm sure, these days about companies that are sustainable companies, meaning they can keep going and it doesn't necessarily negatively affect, our environment, our surroundings as much as others do. So you can think of that as yourself, right? So what do you do to make your yoga practice sustainable so that you can keep going and keep integrating, keep learning and expanding your awareness, expanding strength in your body, flexibility, all the things that we're trying to accomplish. Let's see what else is in season 5. Release and surrender. Wow, whew, that's a good one. So release and surrender, that can be really tough because as humans, we like to control our environment. And that's impossible. So I feel like just when we think we have control, something goes haywire and goes awry. So it really is about it's a letting go practice of anything and everything. It doesn't matter what it is. So if things aren't serving you, that doesn't mean you just drop them, right? It means you analyze, you assess, you do some svadhyaya, which was part of season 4, and you kind of decide, is this helping me? Is this not helping me, right? So being able to let go. Now, for yamas and niyamas for number 5, those are brahmacharya and asteya. So brahmacharya historically means abstinence, so abstaining from sex, but then it kind of evolved into a lot more. So abstaining from things that could be harmful to us, abstaining from negative patterns, negative behaviors, habits, addictions, relationships, and so on and so forth. And so thinking about that goes into all of the bodies, right? And into our everyday life continually. So we can practice that in so many different ways. You have to find ways for you, things that you feel like maybe are not helpful for you, and how can you abstain from those things or change the trajectory of those things, course correct those things like I talked about in the last video, right? And then the other one is asteya, non-stealing. So I feel like the average person, unless they steal, right, and they're a thief, the average person has a hard time going deeper when it comes to this stuff. But this is so expansive when it comes to non-stealing, because we can do things like we can steal people's time, right? We can steal people's energy. There's energy suckers. We can steal people's ideas. We can steal people's creativity, right? So it goes so much deeper than that. And so what I really want you to do, as I did in all of the other seasons, make sure that you're going into all the bodies when you look at these yamas and these niyamas and how you can apply them and how you can practice them in your daily life, okay? That's also from the earth, right? So stealing too many resources from the earth. Like right now we have fires everywhere, right? And so fires are like stealing people's homes, stealing people's structures. It's affecting the air that we breathe. And I don't know the stats, but like it's a lot. It's pretty high as far as man-made fires versus accidental fires. There's lightning and there's things like that, but fires are kind of the topic right now. It's hot, right? All this global warming. Definitely a topic of debate, I'm sure. But when it comes to the earth, how are we contributing to the earth? So I'm sure that with this heat and these fires, water is becoming an issue. And so I think there's going to be some water restrictions coming up here very, very soon, you know, and how is that affecting everyone else around us as well? If we feel like we want our lawn nice and green versus our neighbor, right? If they're sticking to, you know, being compliant with regulations. Let's talk about attachments and suffering. Actually, I think I'll do this in the next video. I have to keep these a little bit shorter. So I will return in just a few moments and talk about our last two things in season 5. Okay, namaste.